Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again, here with another weekly car movie review. I am not joined by my co-host, DJ, so we have brought back the ever-popular, ever-famous, always entertaining, Unlimited Popcorn Bucket. Say hi, Popcorn Bucket! Alright. Today's film we picked was none other than the box office flop, which seems to be kind of the standard for all of the films that have come out this month. But box office flop known as Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. So, funny story, guys. I showed up to the theater expecting to rush into the movie theater and catch a showing of Joyride, just to get some mindless comedy entertainment. And lo and behold, when one is rushing through their app looking for movies and seeing all sorts of different films and different times, one may or may not accidentally purchase tickets to the wrong movie. And unfortunately, I purchased tickets to Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, an hour after I arrived at the theater. So yeah. Was it worth it? Was it destined by God? Have I been blessed with the ever wonderful, always underestimated film? No. Give it a quick 1 to 10. I give it a 4. More than likely, just a 4. There's parts in it that are interesting, I suppose, but overall it's not a very enjoyable film. It wasn't outright terrible like The Machine necessarily, but at the same time, it wasn't really anything to write home about. And if I'm going to be entirely honest, probably a month from now, I'm not going to remember the film. Very much like Sisu, this film's just, it's got its issues. I give it probably about a 4, just to be fair with it, but it could honestly go lower. Overall highlights of it, if I have to say anything, this film really should have been called Tropey Tropeman, Teenage Trope. This film is just tropes. It's not really that original of a film. It seems to have been really rushed and thrown together very quickly, and there's very few parts of the film that are actually redeeming or interesting or unique. So essentially this film is just a giant teenage trope. But it's not even a teenage trope. It is very clearly a children's movie. Obviously, it's a children's movie. It's animated. It's meant for children. But it is a children's version, like children's film version of a teenage prom trope movie. There's just parts in it that aren't very great and aren't very creative and things like that. Points that I give it, though, is it did what Little Mermaid couldn't do. It made the underwater aspects of the film exciting and interesting. It's an incredibly colorful film, and they were creative with their animation style, although it is a little too out there and a little too cartoony for the CG 3D animated style, in my personal opinion. The voice acting was okay. I mean, all the characters were fairly believable. The problem is that literally everything that happened in the film was entirely predictable. I went into the film already knowing the ending. If I'm being honest, like I will go into spoilers, but if you guys are going to plan on going out and watching a movie that's targeted towards children, of the ones that are still in theaters, Spider-Verse is still probably going to be more entertaining and interesting overall than Teenage Kraken. It could have parts in it that would appeal to little girls, I suppose. But overall, just entertainment value-wise for children, there really isn't a film out there that comes to mind immediately. There's just nothing really out right now. in the way of children's films. But compared to a lot of the other children's films that are specifically targeted towards children this year, this one's probably going to be the most unmemorable. It had more issues in it than The Little Mermaid. Even The Little Mermaid is a contradiction of a film, like we said in our review earlier this month, like last month. But there's at least parts of it that are redeeming and enjoyable. This film has parts, it falls very, very flat. And like I said, it's not enjoyable because it is so incredibly predictable. Yeah, I don't think I have really anything else except spoilers. Yeah, I didn't really find the film that entertaining or interesting. The jokes really tend to fall flat. It has some interesting character designs, but all the characters are extremely cookie cutter. I don't think there's really an original anything in this film. Not a single person or aspect or thing is unique. It's a standard, like I said, it's like a kidified version of a teenage drama. It follows everyday teenage girl going through teenage girl issue, kind of weird and quirky, and she has her own little interesting things that she's into, but at the same time she's weird and unique and stuff, but she doesn't lean into her uniqueness because her mother is afraid for her, and as a result tells her to dampen what makes her interesting and unique and things like that. She has this whole mysterious backstory. Her mom has this interesting backstory that she refuses to tell Ruby. And as a result, conflict ensues. Daughter goes against mother's better wishes. And eventually her rebellion leads to liberation and freedom, but her liberation and freedom comes at a terrible cost, and eventually the mom has to come back, bring her back to reality. And although her mom is extremely capable and things like that, Ruby has to inevitably save the day from the very thing that her freedom and liberated thought brought about. Extremely tropey. It's a super tropey film. And not only that, it has really annoying and very, very pointless controversial statement, but virtue signals. If I'm just being honest, there's things in this film that just, when they said them, they're not shocking, they're not it's a trope at this point now. She has a quirky group of friends. So Ruby has a quirky group of friends. There's 3 friends, and she has a love interest. The quirky friends include racially diverse character who's also sexually liberated, which is odd for a children's film, but the weird best friend character is a lesbian, and they throw that out immediately. She's a lesbian. She's going to prom with her girlfriend, who you never see, by the way. It's not important. The girlfriend of this lesbian best friend doesn't show up until the prom scene at the end, and very barely, and she's literally just like pasted into a picture at the end. And then she has weird, quirky boy-guy friend and weird, quirky girl teenager friend, and boy teenager friend likes this girl teenager friend. And this girl teenager friend is, would you guess, edgy and maybe a little dark and a little gothic. And they're all weird and quirky, and they don't fit in with anybody because none of them are the popular kids by any stretch of the imagination. Ruby begins the film very peppy and interested in math. That's her whole thing. She does math, which would be a very interesting character idea if being a nerd was not a main character trait since 1986. Actually, earlier than that. But what do I know? So Ruby tutors this boy named Connor. Connor and her clearly like each other. The entire film, extremely clear that they like each other, but they're so awkward and they don't let each other actually ask each other to prom, even though both of them want to go to prom together. Who'd have thought? Literally. Both of them like each other, and the other thing is, like, she acts like Connor's this, like, super cool jock guy who would never go for a math nerd like her, even though he literally goes and gets tutored from her all the time, and it's very clear that he really likes her. It's not just he's going to be tutored because he's stupid or anything like that. It seems like he's just getting tutored with her because he likes spending time with her. He's also not, like, a super popular kid. He's weird and quirky. He's a skater kid. He's kind of an outsider. Like, I don't know, all of the kids in her friend group. Huh. So it doesn't really work in that way. There's not a will they, won't they kind of tension or anything like that. It's very clear that they want to be together and they want to spend time together the entire film. Ruby's mom and all of them are Kraken, and they don't want to be exposed as being Kraken, and they've been on the land for 15 years. The mom's a real estate agent, and the dad runs a shop, and he does YouTube on the side with ASMR is his whole thing. He likes to whisper, and he is a mix between Bob Ross and ASMR. And he makes boats in jars and bottles. That's his thing. And she has an annoying little brother who is really good at dodgeball, but it doesn't matter. Literally, the dad and the brother are entirely inconsequential to the entire story. Neither one of them actually do anything. It's very clear that the person who wears the pants in the relationship is the mom, which I guess makes sense because, as the story is later revealed, Ruby can become a giant Kraken, and there's only 3 giant Krakens in the entire world to rule the 7 seas. And those 3 are Ruby, Ruby's mother, and Ruby's grandmama. And only females in this royal line carry the giant Kraken gene, and therefore are the rulers of the sea and the rulers of the Kraken Kingdom. The mom doesn't get along with her mom, and Ruby doesn't get along with her mom because it's a teen movie. Everybody's got issues with their mothers. Yeah, Ruby tries to go on a quest of self-discovery after Connor almost drowned. She ends up in the ocean and discovers she can become a giant Kraken. This is an entire aspect of her life that's been hidden from her because her mom has made so many rules and regulations that Ruby has never actually been in the sea. So she's never become the giant Kraken. She's always just been little humanoid Kraken. And she's blending in with the humans because Americans are stupid. We don't know that Canadians are just people and they're not blue fish people who stretch and bend like jelly. The only interesting character in the film is this captain who's after the Krakens because he saw the face of death 15 years ago, which happens to be when Ruby's mom left the Kraken Kingdom and moved to this town with this crazy man who's trying to hunt the face of death, the terrible sea creature, the Kraken. He's the most interesting character, and literally he just has a crab that he talks to, and he's kooky and eccentric, which is in and of itself another trope, specifically a Disney trope. That's the thing. The entire film is just trope. It's extremely predictable. It's literally point A, division B, secret C, becomes plot D, moves to E, F, all the way to the end. Oh, and Ruby becomes like a superhero, at the end, I guess, and the mom and the grandma can't defend the seven seas, so Ruby answers the call of the Kraken and defends the seven seas and her little town. Then her little town perfectly accepts her as a normal teenage girl, and everybody lives happily ever after. Is it worth the watch? No. This movie is so stupid. Like, it's not even like child's entertainment, acceptable stupid. It's just stupid. Anyway, I am done ranting about this film. I suppose, unless Popcorn Bucket has anything to add. I didn't really think so, but anyway, yeah, thanks once again for watching this review. Thanks for watching this video. We really appreciate you guys watching our content. Be sure to leave us a like if you like this film, and leave us a comment letting us know what you thought about Tropey Tropeman, Teenage Trope, or just our channel and stuff in general. What are some films that you guys are looking forward to this year that you want us to review? And what's your favorite childhood movie? Let's go with that. Put it in the comments. What's your favorite childhood movie? Otherwise, please subscribe if you haven't already. Share us with your friends. You can find us on Facebook at Entertainment Rebooted, and you can also follow us on Twitter at ExpositionSickle. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.